Good morning, all my little sweeties. We miss you so much, and we're so excited to come and drop some things off at your house today, and hopefully get to wave or blow kisses through your window because we can't come inside. We can't do high fives, handshakes, or hugs. Okay, but know that we miss you horribly, and we cannot wait to see you again. I am going to read you today's book. It's called Rotten Ralph. It's written by Jack Gantos. How many of you all have been rotten? How many of you all would you say your parents would think that you're rotten? It's a little bit hard being stuck at home, isn't it? Maybe the weather will get nicer and we'll get to spend a little bit of time outside. So we're going to read about Rotten Ralph now. Ralph is Sarah's rotten cat, but Sarah loves him anyway. When Sarah practices her ballet, Ralph makes fun of her. One afternoon, when Sarah was swinging, Rotten Ralph sawed off the branch. Not nice. The very next day, Ralph ruined Sarah's party. He had taken a bite out of every cookie. Sometimes you are very hard to love, Ralph, said Sarah. One day, Sarah's father came home from work. He caught Ralph sitting in his favorite chair. Ralph was wearing father's slippers and blowing bubbles through his best pipe. You are worse than rotten, Ralph, said father. I wish you wouldn't upset father, Sarah said. The next evening, Ralph smashed his bicycle into the dining room table. Father became very angry. You better straighten up, Ralph, he said. You're a very difficult cat, Ralph, said Sarah. After dinner, Ralph was still hungry. He chased Mother's favorite birds. She was very unhappy with Ralph's behavior. One evening, the whole family went to the circus. Everyone was having a great time but Ralph. A dog was barking in his ear. Be quiet, said Ralph, but the dog didn't stop. He kept barking and stomping his paws on the seat. So, Rotten Ralph tied some balloons to the dog's collar. The dog floated up over the lion's cage. My dog! Shouted the owner, but not even the man on stilts could reach him. Then Ralph saw the trapeze. He swung and knocked over the tightrope walkers. Not good at all. Next, he jumped on the show horse. He pushed the rider off and frightened the elephants. Rotten Ralph has gone too far this time, bellowed Father. We are leaving him here. A circus is just where he belongs. And they left him behind. Would you all like to be left behind at a circus? I don't know. All right. When the circus closed that night, the managers made Ralph sweep up all the popcorn. And then he had to water the camels. And after that, he had to carry the barbells for the strong man. The next day, Rotten Ralph did not want to work. He refused to be the target for the knife thrower, so the circus tough men threw him in a cage. Everybody has to work around here, Buster, the tough guy said, and they locked the door. The monkeys laughed and threw banana peels at Ralph. The elephant shot peanut shells at him and squirted water on him. A week later, Ralph had grown very thin. He had only been fed stale popcorn and rotten candied apples, and that night he decided to escape. Nobody heard him as he slipped between the bars. Ralph ran from the circus and found a place to sleep in an alley, and during the night he was awakened by gangs of mean and noisy cats. The rest of the night he hid in a trash heap. He didn't dare make a sound, even though mice were nibbling on his toes. See a little mice nibbling on his toes right there? In the morning he was cold and sick. He'd caught an alley fever from sleeping in the trash heap. I'm lonely, he thought, and he began to cry. He was sitting on a trash can when Sarah found him. Oh, Ralph, I still do love you, she said. She was so happy that she hugged him and gave him a kiss on his nose. On the way home, she told him she'd been looking for him everywhere. She asked him where he'd been and what he'd been doing. Even Sarah's mother and father were happy to see Ralph again. We've missed you, Ralph, they said, and Ralph kept thinking about his soft bed and warm milk. He also thought about how nice it was to have a good friend like Sarah. Ralph decided never to be rotten again. Except for sometimes when Mother cooked lobster for dinner. I hope you all aren't being rotten. I hope you're being good. But if you are being rotten, maybe you're going to have to do chores just like Ralph did. I'll make another video later. Bye, guys.